Right. Can you hear me? Hello. Hey, Bobby. Yeah, good to see you again. Should I put this in? Yeah. So yeah, we have. I think it's better for me to start a little bit earlier, I guess, so that we can wait for people coming. Oh, I need to drop a window though. I think, yeah. So 3000 and pull this down, zoom it up. I've been good. Hello. All right. Okay. This is annoying. So yeah, I was debugging about the hard reload thing. So it's like a dependency optimization, and I think in the recent Nuxt upgrade, it becomes an issue that every time you visit a page, it may says like new dependency find, and it will refresh it again, and I guess that's pretty annoying. And there's a bug also, like when you restart the server, when you close the server and you restart again, all dependency need to optimize again, which means that they were not cached correctly, and that is because there is some algorithm in Vite to calculate if the cache is up to date, which consider the log file and also the Vite config, which like how many plugin you have. And this is an issue in Nuxt because yeah, I think I better find that issue so you can reference to it. Not this one. Oh, we got so many issues. So 3.8.1, I think. This one. So I guess this is pretty annoying since last month we are so a bit of the background is this is actually a fix to Nuxt that we were previously winding up the whole app for the whole tree, and we fixed that by only winding up the entry tree, which is a kind of bit more efficient at the first load. And then we surfaced this issue because previously, as we wound up the whole tree, we basically know all the dependency we have, and now because we kind of want to do it on demand, so like only when you visiting the page we'll do the work rather than we do all the work beforehand. And this is important, especially when your app's getting super big and there's a lot of modules, and they can slow down your code start speed. And so we fixed that issue, and we surface up another issue is like the dependency optimization is not working well, and it's working well, but it's the experience is not good. So I was debugging this yesterday, and also with the help of Marias with the V team. So we're discussing this on V team, on Vite team with the V team, and so this is because different modules can install Vite plugins or change the Vite config. But when the modules like has a big like race condition, they may like executing at the same time, and sometimes the one module can comes earlier and one module can comes later, and then they make the Vite config unstable. So there's like a few plugins a few Vite plugins are not inserted in a certain order. So like every time you start up, like the position of those two plugins can swap, and that's not an issue because they don't affect how the dependency works, and they don't even affect each other. So the order doesn't matter in your app. But for Vite, when they consider calculating the hash, you just dump all the here. Here. So it's basically calculate the hash based on the content, and content can include plugins and the plugin list of the name, and then the order matters because the string will changes. So to fix this, I actually find a few plugins, a few modules doing that, and so we fix that by just trying to make it stable, and we still like have some work to do, and there's a few release need to be done, and yeah. So actually if I restart the server, you will see here is some hash file. So this is the file that I think I modified the node modules. I modified the Vite node module and to log these things. So I think I need to remove them. Otherwise that will be. So when I debug, I will just mainly like change the here this one. So when I debug, I will just change the node modules and using console log. Yeah. All right. So and I can remove all this file. Okay. I mean console log was fine. All right. So I just reverted this debugging code, and I think we should start. Oh, I'm not so sure like how you do it force install in PNPM. You just like install force, because I think because PNPM is a hard link across different project. Yeah. And actually, when you change some node modules inside this thing, it will be affecting some other project that share the dependency. So I guess you need to be carefully. I'm not so sure if like PNPM fixed this recently, but when I was that, it's like when I changing some Vite code, I will find that it changes apply to every project I have. So yeah, I think it's better to be safe. I'm not so sure if like every time you do a PNPM install force would solve this issue. Yeah, the text is there because we haven't started. We're just like chatting randomly. Okay. Okay, and I think that's so. I hope hopefully this can be solved soon. Yeah. So I think we have GitHub. Oh no, I didn't mean Nuxt. Learn.nuxt.com. All right. So we have this project. Let's check what's the pull request. Okay. I forgot to deal with this last time. And okay, let's quickly go through the. Yeah, I don't think we have any changes. So here the fix is like it just hijack the save command and with the empty command. So because we don't have a save, we save automatically, and so this would that when you press command save, it doesn't do anything, and doesn't shows up the save this web page log, because like sometimes like you would just press. I'll just press that even though it does not do anything. And this is fix overflow widget, and yeah, it's like it's not overflowed, and I'm not so sure how they did it, but I mean, why that shouldn't be default? Yeah, I guess maybe it just has another uh, has another layer in the body, in the web page body, and so that it's outside of this container, and you calculate the absolute position of it. But I mean, it can be a default, right? So yeah, thanks for this PR, and I think we don't have anything more. So okay, so let's go to the project, and I think what I want to do today uh would be, oh, what's this? What happened? Uh did I, okay, I forgot to start the server. Okay, I need to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, okay. Okay. So the case is like we we got Volar working. So here you got the types, right? But you don't have the type for Nuxt pages, and you don't have the type for define Nuxt config, and that is because currently the Volar is only work for itself, for the file itself. So it says like there's a no define config, define Nuxt config in this file. So it doesn't know there's another file that we actually have in the Nuxt server, no, in the web container, inside the web container. So we haven't did the connection between the web container and Vola, and I'm thinking to do it today, but I'm not so sure if I'm going to make it. So yeah, let's explore together, and just don't have too high expectation. Okay, so if you remember that, I think we had one thing. It's like, I think here. Okay, let me go through a little bit like how Monaco is being set up. So here we have the component, and which is editor Monaco, right? And here we call the init Monaco here at the component being set up, and then it's like just passing through, and it will create a model and from Monaco editor, and create a model is actually a file, a document containing with the language and the file path and also the content of the file. So it's basically get a model is like get file in a Monaco uh workspace. It's like in a Monaco concept of the file. So here you got a model, and based on the file, and you configure it, and you did some hooks like when it changes, we update the value, and when the sim changes, we update the sim. And load grammar is like getting the grammar working for Monaco, for the what for the view file, and that's it. And how Monaco works is actually mostly inside this init Monaco file, and init Monaco file is like setting a global environment, which is a Monaco environment, and get a worker is like when you have a different language, they have a different worker. So this is by default the thing that Monaco would provide. And then we have our own custom view worker because we want Monaco to understanding view, and this is powered by Vola. So the later part is like basically we just register some connection between the extension and the language ID, and we set the compiler option. Okay, the default compiler option, I think that's okay. And then it's the sim, and we define two things. We pass the sim object, and so we can have a more consistency. And here we have the editor background, which usually is so many zero. It's 8 0, and usually a color would be six hex number, right? That presents RGBs, like the first two is R and green and blue. And if you add two more, the last two is actually alpha, so which is opacity. So if I put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, so A0, that means transparent. And so usually in front end, you will just type transparent, right? But for Monaco, it doesn't support this keyword. So I think it's rendered by a canvas or something. So it doesn't support a native thing like this. So you need to pass a transparent value. So when it's a digital, like what's in front of that is doesn't matter. Well, in some cases, like it matters, but usually this is just transparent. So we make the background transparent and allows us to share the same feeling of the whole website, and we basically just ignore the background coming from the thing. And okay, so that's it. And then that's Monaco setup. And then I think the tricky part will be the view worker. So that would be here. So here there's a lot of things involved, and it basically the convert compiler option. This is a TypeScript compiler option, and create service environment. Okay, this is from Volar, and create language service, language host. This is also from Volar. And then I'm not so sure how this two, like how this JS deliver URLs resolver works, because this is like unfetched CDN file. I'm not so sure if we're going to use CDN at all, but we will see. And I think locale, we are not using it at this moment. So I think we can clean it up. So so if we're going to do like translation for TypeScript, maybe like if later we're going to do the full translation of the documentation, we might also want TypeScript to provide localized message, but I don't think that's something we should concern now, and it should be easy to add even later on. And so for now, it's like we're just trying to remove all the things that doesn't relate to what our goal is, to make the themes clear. And so here, I don't know how I can pass the file. So you can see here, you create a language, share the models, service environment. So I guess I can provide a file system or somehow. I'm not so sure okay. So JS deliver file system. So that means if I pass the WebContainer file system, that might do, right? But this is inside a worker. Right, this is inside a worker, it's a web worker. So let me search for it. Web worker pass function. Can I do it? I guess you cannot do it, right? You cannot pass DOM directly. You cannot rely on global state. You cannot send data that cannot be handled by structure clone. So that means different thread and only basically like only JSON file can be, only JSON format object array can be transferred to the worker. So I think that would means we need to implement our a kind of like epoxy, right? Okay, I see. So because in a worker it's a different environment, and I let me check what's the type of these things. What's the type of this file system? So file system. Okay, file system is from Volar language server, and okay, I think we only need those three. So which means it's not too bad, right? I think it won't be too hard to do so. So I think we also need a bridge to communicate between view worker and outside. And this is inside the worker, and this is in the environment. Okay, and we see that here. I'm not so sure. Like, I guess we can do a little bit like post message. Okay, actually I have on message. So what I have that's like E to view worker, right? And we print it, and we got the console. We can check. I don't think it has anything. I'm not so sure. Okay, I should go to a view file. Okay, so here I have something. So data is VS base common worker simple worker, and what else? Type is message. So what I'm not so sure is like why we do the worker initialize in on message. I think we copied that from the view repo, and the difference thing here, I think there's a data object, right? So here you have a create data, and this data is passing from somewhere. I think I saw it here. Where is it? Grammar? No, it's not really grammar, I think. It's not really grammar. Utility, environment. Yeah, this is the reload language tools. And here we have that module ID and create data. And the data is here. And let's go back to see here. Do we have any data? So the data is not the data we would expect. Current target. Message event. So I'm not so sure if this message is sent by Monaco itself or not. Maybe it could. So what if we just remove this wrapper and we do the initialize right away? Because I don't think the message is being used at all. Okay, so if I do this, okay, it still works. Cannot read property. Okay, it says that the TS config is undefined. Okay, it has a initialized TS config. So I guess that's still need to do something. So here you have the TS config and create data. So here basically means that this TS config is not working, and that means the create data here is not being passed in, and which the worker create worker. So that's a bit weird because we pass this object, right? And so that means that we can go to this repo to see why this would be a case. So I saw a workaround. Where is it? Monaco. And so here, okay, here you have a self message, and you got the data, right? Okay, so here is like it's waiting for an event called init, and if it's init, it's trying to load the TypeScript from CDN, and then a post message called init. So that's basically doing loading TS, right? And then here in the environment, no, it's not in the environment. I think it, no, it's yes, in the environment. So here when we got like get worker, yeah, here we have the get worker, and instead of directly passing the worker, it has something to do with that. So it basically waiting for it's create a new promise, right? And I can just zoom out a little bit. So it creates a new promise, and it waits to resolve when there's a message coming from the web worker to say init, which is the end statement we just saw before. And then it passes a message to init. So basically, like, it's just waiting for it to finish, but then it just registers the listener, and then it posts a message to trigger the initialization of the worker, and it's passing a TS version and TS locale, and I think those are just like trying to load TS. So it's trying to load the TS from the CDN. While here I change it to be we just import the local TS, so it'll be part of the bundle. So we don't need to do that. And yeah, so basically I think the logic is here. So here it's just waiting for before these things. So it's just waiting for TS to load from CDN, which I think for us we don't need to care about that. So I think the thing is like why this config is not passing in. So I'm not so sure how to do it, but I think at least we that's okay. Yeah, compiler option. What's the compiler option? Okay, compiler option. Okay, here. I think the error is coming from here. So if I got a question mark here, so we don't got issue. We don't got an error, but I'm not so sure that's why this is not passing in. So here we can add it. So we basically investigated later because I guess we don't use the TS config right now, but we basically need to have a RPC function in order to pass the message. So so I think we could do it. So we have RPC TS, and then we can have worker functions, and then we have the host functions. Okay, the host functions. I think we basically need to proxy how the file system being resolved, right? So it just I think let's go to this file system definition. File system. So we basically need these two or these three, and then we can prefix as fs. So here, what's the result? I think the result is something that it can be denable, but for us, yeah, I think we can just use promise. It'll be always return a promise because it's a call thread, and then file status. What's the file status? Okay, so it has all these things, and maybe you could copy it. Not so sure, but it doesn't really matter to me. This is even enum. I hate enum. So here we got a host function, and we don't have a worker function yet. But basically, I think what we could do is basically doing the same as we had. So for BRPC, so we create BRPC, and here is like we do it here. So RPC equal to create BRPC, and the type, the local, this is the, I think here, it's a remote function, so it's host functions, and then the local function is worker functions. And then here, we don't have any function, so it's an empty array. And then we have post, right? And we do post message, and on, which is a handler. No, this is a post, and handler, and then we have that. Okay. So we basically on global list, add event listener message, and so I think we need to find post message. So let's check how they do it. So worker add event listener. Oh no, this is outside. This is the host. So what we want is inside the worker how it send the message. So it's self post. So it's self on message, self post message. Okay. So should I do it self? Or should I do global list? I think it's the same, right? I think we discussed about this. So I guess let's do a little bit better. So it's data and type is yeah, that would do, I think. So here we have this thing, and if the data type is not BRPC, I think we ignore it. And yeah, I think we could do it. I don't think we need something like that. So here we have the RPC, and we also do a RPC outside store here. I'm not so sure if I should do it here. Or maybe it's better to do it here. I'm not so sure, but let's do it here. I think, okay. I don't know. I don't actually know. I don't actually know what's the best way to do it. So I guess maybe because here, if you got the instant, so if we see here, you need to have the instance of the worker. Oh, sorry. Here. You need to have the instant here. Here, you got the new view worker, and you use this worker instant to post and add event listener. So that means probably we should do it here. And that means here. So I'm not so sure if this function will be called multiple times, and maybe it would. So it's view worker, maybe just call it worker. So here we have RPC, and not so sure. And it's a named export. And then we can reverse this RPC and RPC. So basically we need to implement this read file function. And so we can use here we can use the web container file system to read the file. But let's do the post message and post worker. Yeah, I think that would do. Yeah, that's unified a bit about this. All right. So in the store, do we have a okay? We can have a web container. Instance like that. I think it's web container. Okay, and then we have web container, right? And the type is like that. Oh. Okay. So I think we need a constructor. But anyway, I think we will refactor this out. So this would be web container. And if you put it public, it will be attribute automatically. So here, okay, I'll just remove this. And I think that's it. And here, if we search for new store here, and we basically pass play the web container. We don't have it? Oh, okay, web container. It should be already been resolved, right? I'm not so sure. Okay, if it's undefined, maybe we will know. So here we can have a store.web container read file like that, and what it returns. Okay, so maybe we need a string, so we have a UTF-8, and then we return. Would that be happy about it? So here is a promise string or undefined and encoding. So here we basically have an encoding here, and maybe we can default to here, and then we have the encoding, and it read files. So we can do add string. It's not working. Still not working. Oh yeah, I think I need to wait. I guess that's the, I think the error is from the other. And fs read directory. It doesn't have the read directory. Reader. And okay. So I think here we have some typecasting issue. So file status. What this? So you're trying to get the C time, M time, and file type out of it. So the web container does not have that file. Okay. Then how can I do it? Make directory, read directory. So this file system API is not that compatible with us. So it says read directory, right? Okay. So it doesn't have, how come it doesn't have C time and M time? But if you have a watcher, no, the watcher listener, let's try to see the callback. So you have the file name. All right, how should I do it? I mean, I think the only thing I could do is to fake this API. So we have basically file type. So we can do async. It's a promise file status, right? And how can I do it? So here I just leave it. Just leave it undefined. I don't know. Okay, so here maybe a to do. And here I guess so we have the return, right? And we return it, and the type is a little bit different. Here is a string, and file type and it's an array, and file type is 0, 1 to 40, 64. It's a simple link. Okay, and okay, not too bad. Copilot is good. And okay, what happened here? Oh, okay, it's because I used the switch case. I think I shouldn't. But here I just returns the worker, right? And it works. So I think the thing here, so we can say create RPC. And I think it's fine that we don't expose this RPC, because this RPC is like having the worker to expose some context from the client, from the host. Well, that's the host doesn't have any communication with the worker yet. So we don't need this RPC actually, but we will see. I'll just underscore it. So we will see that how many RPC we have created. So here is underscore, we don't use it at all. And okay, I think that's maybe we could also log it, fs read file, like that. And okay, so I'm super not sure about this. Oh, I think I forgot. I forgot to link to Volar. So basically, in the worker, right, we have the RPC, but RPC is not being used. So here we don't use the JS deliver file system. We create our own file system, and this is like a read file, right? And UI, and then we have will return RPC and read file. I think it's okay, right? This is string, and then we return it, and then we do the same. Come on, come on, come on. It doesn't know. Okay. So see here is good, and I'm not so sure that's how you do this URL resolver. What should I do? UI resolver. File name to URL. What if I just what if I just pass through? Okay, not so sure. So here we don't need this thing. We don't need this too. Or maybe, as a reference, we could see console log here, and then we pass the resolver, and we have the file name with dot file to pass name. So we can see how it's being resolved, and we can mimic that. I don't think we are going to really resolve to JS deliver, but we at least we know what they expect. All right. So with the connection, the file system should be good. But I'm worried about that WebContainer is not it's not a the WebContainer we passed may not be undefined. Okay, yeah, I think I should click the view file. Oh, this is all undefined. Okay. I mean, that is cool. And okay, here the thing is broken. So I think I also need to put the actual URL, and maybe it's better for me to return undefined, so I don't resolve it, or I'm not so sure. Okay. So basically URL to file name, we just have this, right? So it's all calling this. So that means we can just new URL like that. Can we do it? So we have the file name, and we return the file name, and we console log it, and it's ours. I know it's weird, but okay, I just refresh it, let's see. And if I go to the view file, and it should start to create RPC. Okay. Fail to construct URL is invalid URL. Okay. I think I need to have, oh, how can I do it? Like that? Would that make sense? I guess so, right? Because it's converting there and converting back, I feel. All right. It seemed to be good. So hours. Okay. But the type is the type resolved? No, the type is not resolved. So okay, just trying to convert it here and back. So I think basically it looks okay. So I think here the thing is like base is node modules. So that means JS deliver file system only provide the files from JS module or from node modules, which for us we might not even need this thing. So I think maybe I'm on the wrong direction, but I think it's still important to set up the RPC. So here maybe is the service environment, they have a file system, or the language host, they have a file system. So the model, the service environment, and the service environment has a file system, yes. So you also have URL to file name and file name to URL. So that means here would it take, it doesn't take any at all. So maybe somewhere here. Service environment, right? And create service environment. And this service environment has a lot of things, but it has not doing okay. Is that okay for me to say environment file system and equal to our file system? And I think here we don't need these things anymore. Is that okay to do that? Is that okay we assign to it? So we say read file UI, right? And okay, do we have any error? Okay, this is error of the logger. That means if I go to this file, it create RPC for once. It does not call the function. So what is get mirror model? Mirror model. CTX, what is CTX? Context, worker context. Okay. I'm a bit confused. So this worker context is from Monaco, and you got a host, and the host is Edge, which is a generic, and work host get fat CDN file. What? So that means you can pass a host. So maybe they already do the RPC already. Is that? So so let's try. So we can log on fetch CDN file, and I think here is not affected, right? Refresh the page. Okay, so you have hello world, but here it's not working. Oh, is that because here the thing was here is like trying to resolve the view? Is that trying to resolve view? I'm a bit confused. It's not easy. So here they are not relevant. So here you see it's still got the types, but here it's no longer here. It's no longer have type in the template. So that means probably Volar need to resolve the type from view. So that means this still means something. And okay, so that means those things are still meaning something. Oh, yeah. I think I'm dropping friend, but I'm not so sure what I can do. It's turning green now. Okay, is that getting? Oh, it's still red. Should I restart should I restart the streaming? Is that okay to do so? I mean, from my last, I'll try. I'll cut the streaming and do it again. If that works, the worst case is that this stream will be directly ended. But we will see. If that happens, we will find another. We'll create another room to do so. But I hope I can reconnect to it. All right. And I'm back. Hello. Can you see it? Okay. I guess. Okay. So from my point of view, the bitrate is green now, so it should be smooth. Okay. Everything works fine. So yeah, you know, I didn't do anything. I just kill OBS and restart again. And I'm not so sure because this also happens a few times beforehand. It's like just doing it and then in the middle it just being cut. It's like the connection just lost. It becomes very unstable. But yeah, if restart works, just like normal software. If it breaks, you just restart it. All right. So yeah, I think this is still important, right? So if I do here and you'll see here, okay, it's load. So that means okay. So here it says like unfetched CDN file and it's passing a lot of files, and this is from view as I expect. So this requires to have the view package, to have the view types to work. Okay, and that will be interesting. So here, so basically the JS deliver file system is working. And so here, if I basically swap, we kind of hijack it to do something. So ideally, I want to have the file system directly from the web container. So that means if I hijack this read file, right? And if I do read file, right? And I do here, and I return file. So this is will be the same as the function it is, but then we will have a console log read file. Yeah. All right. And I think we could see its files being fetched. We just print the URL here, right? So if I go to the view, okay, you see it's read file and it's being resolved to this thing. So that would be interesting. So I basically want to check what's the JS deliver URL resolver is doing. So that means we go to Volar. And I'm not so sure if I have cloned Volar already. I think I did. Yeah, I did. So I just search for this thing and we just check how it works. And okay. So URL based. Okay, URL based is this thing. And if it start from URL base, we use file base. Okay. And then, okay. Interesting. It seems that we should be able to provide our own file system for sure. And so that means that's I think let's do that again. So I think we can keep that and we can use our previous so here we don't need it. We just use our previous one. And so file name to URL, or maybe maybe we can also have a base. So so let's say we only resolve the files from node modules. Like at this moment we'll see. And we can just basically copy what they have. So okay. Oh. So here we also have a little thing. Not this one. Okay, text. Oh, unfetched CDN file. What is this thing? Okay, so this file system is calling this. So let's check the implementation of this. So we go this function and it got unread file. And when the URL base, interesting. It's doing this. Okay, I think we could also do it as well. Okay, this is way tricky than I thought. So let's check about the read file. And if it started with a URL base, we will do it. And get package name fetch text. So fetch text should be a wrapper of the fetch. And the fetch result, and the fetch result get pass. So get pass. Okay. So okay, this is I think this is a cache, right? This is a map. Okay, this is a cache map. So it basically fetch the CDN and it will catch the value. And then what's this? Unread file. Okay, just a callback. Okay, it's just a callback. And interestingly, like if you be able to host this thing, to pass the host, that means the host is anything, right? So it basically means that we can pass our web container here, right? Right. So we have a constructor and we have the web container. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. But I think it might make things easier that if we just move these things here. so that's, wait, what? What I'm doing? So I think it's basically also epoxy, just like what we did for the RPC. So if I do constructor and store, and we have it public, maybe, or private, maybe private will do. And because I think the worker shouldn't access to this, and you have this here and this here, right? And you basically have this worker, and also I think if we got a read file and this is the content, so that means we should create or get or create a model, and this is the content, and then we return the content, but we also create a model here. I think that might do, and we don't need this thing. And here in the, and we pass the store, yeah. So basically we don't need this RPC, I suppose. And so here we can ignore this RPC. And all right. So here we can have our host, ctx host, and you have the read file, and here read file, and oh, what happened? Okay. Here the type is not correct. Would that do? Okay, that would do. Okay, so then that's the case is URL to file system and file system to URL. Okay, if I think if it is returns undefined, and that means we don't need that. I don't know. Let's check. So file name. So we could also print our URL equal to this, and then we return URL, and then we have URL like that. Okay, if I go to this file, and I would expect it does not work. So I'm not so sure if this is because this leading slash. So maybe I'll just remove the leading slash. I mean, it's not a good approach, but let's see. I think I should do it here. So if I go to the view app.view, would that do? I'm not logging URL. Really? Okay. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. All right. But it'll be a bit weird to me that it's just only requesting for app.view, and so you see this is file name to and app.view.ts. What's that? Okay, maybe let's do it for node modules. So file name to node modules if it if start with space and we do something, And if it's not, we just return undefined, right? And if this is start from like slash node modules, and we do something, and otherwise we don't do it, right? Would that work? I'm still getting all these things. How? I mean, I'm already filtering that, right? Oh, is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you shouldn't chat. You shouldn't trust Copilot too much. Okay. So we have file name to URL, which is a node module. Wait, it's disappeared. I mean, the Chrome Dev tool will crash sometimes, right? Okay, I see. It might be because I'm logging this, so let's log it. So read file, and I think also like it's read directory. So let's basically read all these things, log all these things. So I think because I saw there's a directory, so it might be calling the read directory, and then read directory does not have anything, and then make it to sync. Oh yeah, I forgot to navigate. Okay, I see. So it got the status, and okay, because we returns undefined, that means I think it thinks that the file does not exist. So what should I do? What should I do from this thing? So I think one thing I could do is try to, I don't know. I don't even know how to do it. So basically, I think we could do it like here. So dir directory, and what we do is here, and we got the parent name, directory name. And how can I get the directory name from? This is a can I do it? Can I use this thing? So Passy is a let's check. It's an AnJS package, and I'm not so sure if that works on the browser as well. It doesn't mention it. I'm not so sure, but we can try. So we have a directory name, and then we find that name. Really? Let's check. So directory and file, and if file dot is directory, and then we return type 2. Okay, I mean this is a bit tricky, to be honest. Okay, like that. So if it's a directory, we do it as a directory, and file type. Okay, that'll do. And otherwise, and so it's directory. So I think if not file, we return undefined. We're indicating that this file does not exist. I think something like that, I guess. So yeah, but I'm not so sure about this find. I think this find would not work because it's a relative. It might be relative. So let's go to this thing. I go here. All right. It should give me something, right? FS status. No, it's not giving me anything. So the function is not even wrong. Oh, because this is never resolved. It could be. And we print URL and directory name. Okay. So this is actually URL. So, okay, if it's a URL, then I got it. So it's actually not working that way. So I don't really need a directory name. What I need is a URL, and we'll just parse it. And then I think we can go one directory up. So that would be the directory name, right? And with that directory name, if I pass to pass, so I think here that makes more sense. And I don't need this passy. And okay, would that work? I would expect that's like in Monaco is the all the files working as a URL in syntax. So it's like basically all the file is the URI, and while that's in WebContainer they have files just like the normal node modules. Okay, okay, nice. We got the files. So at least we have the files, and the name is relative, and that's what I expect. Oh no. So even though it's like it's just grabbing the files under this, it's still like grabbing the files from the root, which is not something I want. And also, yeah, you have a node modules. Okay, which is good. Okay, I think I shouldn't do one directory up. I think it's just like that. And so because it's a directory, right? It's a directory. So that means I should do like pass name, right? It's a so it's UI. Yeah, that's UI. Maybe that's just UI string, and we convert it to URI. And with here we do URI pass name, and we print the URL pass name to check. Oh, wait. Okay, okay, I see. I see the reason why I want this because the so I think we can still do it. UI and okay, maybe you just say dir pass, and then we have okay, so it's a file path, and then it's a path name, and we do a new UI, and here you put the relevant go one up, so it's a directory path and then path name. So the reason why we use read directory because this is file status. So because we don't have that APIs in the file system or web container, so that means So that means we need to grab the parent and then the name. Okay. So the base name, how can I get the base name? Oh, is the base name just I can just file path slice. Would that work? So if the name is equal to base name, we got a file. So we could do yeah, we can do URL path file name. I would guess that would do. Okay, I got 2 questions. Good. So so I switch window, and this is a Mac feature. So you basically when usually you will have a Windows mode, right? You can have multiple window. But if you zoom up, the maximize the window, and in Mac it's a different. It's like it's creating a new desktop. So in Windows, like you can have multiple windows like a maximize, but here in Mac you only have one. You can only have one window maximized at the same time, and then it creates a multiple desktop. So you know that there's like a virtual desktop. You also have that in Windows, and I'm just saying that if you are a Windows user, but if you are a Mac user, I think you will know this. And so here you can have multiple window, right? But if you zoom up, they will create a new window for it. And with that, with the trackpad, if you put 4 finger on top of on top of your trackpad, and you swipe horizontally, it can just sweep it just swipe the window. So I can just do it like that. And if I orientate here like this, and I can just go here. So this is something on Mac, but I guess you can have similar thing in Windows if you install something as software. And I use with mouse because with the trackpad, it's super close with your keyboard. So I would just type, and I would just move my finger down a little bit, and I'll just change my cursor, and I will type, and change my cursor and type. So they are super close. So uh, so yeah, I think that's just it. Control, left arrow and the right. Oh, I didn't know this. Thank you. But I mean that trackpad is very good for me to use and intuitive in some extent. So I think for the question we have, for the problem we are just trying to solve, I think maybe I made some progress. I hope so. Okay. 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 So I have a directory name slash. Oh, is that means I shouldn't use 2 dot? I should use 1 dot, right? And then I have a base name, just to sure, and I can have a. So this is the. We can have a files. So basically, find the files from the files, and then we. Good. Oh, I was just waiting for it for nothing. I'm sorry. Uh, okay, okay. We have this. There's so many files under node modules, and here we have that. And let's check that. That check easy. That check the easy one, I think. So for oh, it's not easy one. So for node modules, we could have all this file and this file. What's the name? So the name is like this, and the base name. Oh, okay. I think I Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't do the slice one. I shouldn't do the add one. So the path name's already ending with slash. Yeah, WebContainer API doesn't have the file status, right? File system status. So they don't have it. They don't have it. So I don't actually have all this information of C time and M time, and I would ask them why they don't have that API, and if it's possible they just provide it. But here we just read the directory, and if I go to the view file, all right, and is that means I got something? Okay, yeah, I got something. You see that's it starts crawling all these files. So that means we are good. That means this function is good. Uh, so we are good. So we can add a little bit comment here. Okay, thank you, Copilot. And I really like it to save a lot of time for me. Okay, and then we have the read file, right? Let's see if the read file is here. And read directory. Okay, I think okay, that basically means that file URL, right? So that means basically we need to change it to here, and also file path like that. So we can read file path, we read file path. What they use internally, maybe they don't expose it. Yeah, but how can I check this? I guess they are not open source. And also, I think the WebContainer API will be a wrapper of the communication part, just like a simple wrapper to make the communication easier, I suppose. Okay, okay, okay. It's not working. So we have the status. Like for example, it's just looking into the JS runtime module, and then it's trying to file name to URL, and we have that, and we pass it to a file name, URL. I think that looks good. And 3/, that means the third slash is the leading, is the leading slash of the file path. And we have this here, and URL to file name. Okay, so I think that we can clean up a little bit. So we don't need these things. We don't need this thing. And I think URL to file name, those are looks good. I'm not so sure if I should wait until the modules being installed. Oh, it's not a function anymore. How come? Oh, why? So there's a case that this function is not being passed in. That's weird. So I think it's better for me to wait until the install dependency is being finished. So we got the node modules, right? Okay. And now we have the thing, and we go to this file, and we see the console. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot to read. So file name to URL, I think that makes sense, right? But it does not read the files. It only try to cast from file name to URI. And is that because the implementation of this is not correct? So I don't log this anymore, and file name, URL to file name. Oh, maybe this is URL, right? But why do I need the URL to pass name to file name? Okay, I go to this file, and okay, it's crashed again. Okay, we are dying too deep. So URL to file name. So this is like this. Oh, should I not removing this? Maybe it would be better to not removing this. Go to the view file. Okay. It says no such file directory as lab. Okay. So I think that means the it's not being installed yet. Oh, ouch. It's not a function. Okay, how come it's not a function? So I think we could. So I guess there's a chance because here we only use view. We use view worker for both TypeScript and JavaScript, and no, it doesn't. It does not make sense, right? So if the file system, the file status is not a function, that means our worker host is not being passed incorrectly. And that means, okay, this is only labeled for view. And while that's our worker is also work for the others. Okay, now I understand. So, okay, but how can I, it can only have one label, right? So that means that kind explain that's why this TS config is unresolved, and that is because this create data is only passing for view but not for the JS file. So that means when I go to a JavaScript file, it'll be slow, and if I go to a view file, it's okay. Okay, yeah, I think that's the case. Okay, and I think the removal of the leading slash is still important, but maybe we could do it here. Read file. Okay, so we do remove leading slash here, and we do file name, directory name, maybe like this, and like this. So yeah, I think it's better to replace as a utility function, but maybe. No such file or directory, and that is because the thing is not, it haven't been installed yet. So I think we should do it after. So after the installation is finished, I go to this file. Okay. TypeScript lab is not exist. Okay. If that means maybe we could guard it. return undefined. I think return undefined means that this file it does not exist. So for me now it's like I want to get rid of the CDN, and I want these things to work, like the message dot, it should read the local. All right, I think we should do like if host dot yeah, I think that will do. So if this function exists, and we will do it, because there's a case that this will be reused by view file, no, by language, by JavaScript and TypeScript. But still, it's still not ideal. It says it's not loading the TypeScript direct. Is that means I didn't have the TypeScript inside the... Oh, maybe that's the reason. I should have TypeScript inside this thing. That could be. So template, cd template basic, and I will do TypeScript. Okay. I can do latest, I think. It should be fine. All right, and we could restart our server to be sure. Yeah, I think that may be the cause, actually. So if I go to this file, I just wait until the package get installed, download. Okay, reuse. Okay, TypeScript being installed. And I go to this thing. Okay, cool. Okay, now we have something different. At least we see that it's trying to read the file from the web container, and it's all looking good. So okay, the thing here is like worker get syntactic. It's not a function. So okay, does not exist on type. So that means it's loading the file, but it's not. Okay. It's only resolved the type for TypeScript, but not for Vue. But while that's previously we saw that it's resolving the Vue's files as well for... Okay. But why it's not resolving Vue? That's interesting. But at least we got the TypeScript working, but not the Vue. Is that if I do this import ref from Vue, would that do anything? Expand a JavaScript. What the heck? What happened? I mean, why is this file being executed? This is from WebContainer. Okay, because we are updating these things. So if I do ref, right, and it works, but type is not working. It's not crawling the new file, did it? Nope. This module is not yet support view. So here we got this error. And I don't even know why. So I think at least we connected the node modules files to the, so we could do it. Okay, we could do it like here. So we only log the file that we are now handling. Or maybe we should just remove this. I think we will check later. I think maybe we also need to apply this initializer for TypeScript and JavaScript as well. It says the file is not exist. Will they do it again? No, they don't do it again. So I think we need to invalidate it after the install dependency. Oh, okay. I think maybe I know how to do it. Okay, now it's app.view. Where? All right. Okay, this is the. Oh, interesting. It got source node modules, and it got non-source node modules, and that means we probably shouldn't pass the source here. Maybe, yeah. Okay, and what I found is like because the node modules fail to solve when the dependency is not being installed yet, right? And also here we have the RPCs is not needed. Here we have a function. Where is it? In the environment. Here we have a function called reload language tools, and that means once we install the dependency, we can reload language tools, right? So you can get the new files. I suppose that should works. And where can I do it? Okay. So let's check if we do it in Monaco. And I think we can do a watch. So do we have this any? Is this function being called? Okay, on language view, it's reload language tools. Okay, so that means if we watch for the play, no, play dot status, and we have a callback function, and if it is equal to ready, maybe it's not ready, we can just have say start, right? Start means that we finished running the dependency installation, and we do rerun. And what is needed? Store. So we have a store. I give it to you. When dependencies install finished, and I think we can also log it here to say reload language tool like that, and we reload it. So we'll just be in this file, and currently the type is not working because the file is not ready and the node module is not ready. And after we install it, okay, we have start. Okay, it says reload language tools. And okay, you see these changes, but still that's we are not getting the exactly thing we want, but at least we are making some difference. And okay, so still the file is not being loaded. The view type is not loaded for some reason, and And also we got this this thing. I'm not so sure this thing is something we can fix. So label view. What if we just make all the language as a view? Not so sure if that makes sense. But what if we do like this? I don't think so. So if we go to this file, below language tools, so it's trading as a view, and it's loading. Okay. So we still have this, like file status is not a function. So I think we better not doing it. Web container. Create worker view language view view worker. And where is the view worker being specified? But how is node is called view worker? And module ID to load. Yeah, I don't understand. Dispose view. Get synchronize IDs. Get synchronize IDs. And that means we're listing files. Okay. So let's check. No, it does not do anything about it. But why it was requesting for view module and now it's not? Language IDs. Good part is that we are not using CDN, but okay, so maybe let's check what would happen if I change it back. Okay, unfat CDN, I think I need to re-implement it. So I think it's basically text, and then we do like here. Oh, we have UI path. Okay. Return and string and string. And we have this, right? And if we comment out our implementation and in favor of JS deliver, and that should give our TypeScript hint of the message. Yeah, that works. That worked for JS deliver. So that would be interesting. Oh, what happened? Okay, I think this is something that's you know, post a message. So it's like RPC. It's just like the host is actually the RPC they implemented. And it's getting more like a Babel parser, source map JS, and what's fail to message. What is that? So that would be interesting to see, like maybe status. I think I need to wait for it. Okay, I'll refresh. I'm just curious, what's our implementation? How different we are? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Could not be cloned. What could not be cloned? Is that the web container instance? The store? Maybe because of the store. So, okay. But it's still not making sense to me. But anyway, you got this solving. So, okay, that's a lot. Okay, we got the first. So it's trying to read this npm. Okay. And it tells it that view exists. Nope. View latest. Okay. So it tells it view latest exists. And then it's starting to crawling the view directory. And I think this at latest is made by the resolver of the JS deliver. And while here, I think we only need node module / view. Okay, I don't understand why it's got the. I don't think it hard code any view related thing. So I still not very sure. So just comment this out. No, this is too much. Here, I should comment this out and bring our implementation back. So I wonder is like why the TypeScript the view is not being resolved, only TypeScript. So I think we could do the same for us. So like status. And then we do the result. I don't think the read directory is even being used. Like the heavy work the heavy loaded function is this. It's just trying to grab all these files from this. Okay, no directory. Of course not. And after the file being loaded, okay. This is like it's starting the add types, and then but not the view. And is that? So I'm confused about this part. I think we are doing the same. We are just grabbing the files, right? And yeah, this is a directory. Yes. Okay, could that be because I'm quite confused. So I think that for this editor, we have the automatically select the first file. So I'll just not doing that at this moment, and I'll just wait. Is that this? Yeah. So I just remove it. So it doesn't select any file. So we'll wait until the modules get installed. Now, and I will click the file. All right, it'll start a server, and okay, still it has this problem. And I think the weirdest thing to me is like is I don't know I don't know what's the difference. Okay. Oh, how come? Okay, I see. Um, no, I don't think so. It says like if it is started from this, if it's exactly equal to this, and it's resolved to this. But I mean here we don't have the trailing slash, and that means that should cover this case. So the package substring get package name. So you're trying to resolve the package name and putting it into JS deliver format, right? So when it says like here, would this be a thing? Really? So is that I suppose not to return -1 for those things? Yeah, I'm a bit confused as how it works internally. So here, if it's a file, I don't think I have any more information about it. So file, name, okay. So if it's a file, let's read the content. All right. So we have the size. Is that work? And then we have we can have a date now, I suppose. So create time is now, and yeah, sorry, create time is now, end time is now, and this is a file. One is file, right? All right. Dependency install. We'll go to this app.view, and it's trying to grab all the file. Still like here, it's like it's still missing it. Okay. We are not working very smoothly today. Decoration. So let's check again about this view worker. So we know this works, and this is a decorate service environment and env and URL resolve JS deliver and JS file system. So we have the same, right? Service environment env, and we pass our own resolver and our own files to resolve this. Read directory. I don't think read directory ever works, ever needed. The you mean this one, right? So this one is arrow length. Oh, sorry, it's not this one. This one. Yeah, you just install it, and it should be working fine. And I filter out some errors. So like ESLint console log error, I'm just filtering out. I don't want to see it because I know this is an error. And yeah. So this error is like just try to prevent you from shipping this to production. While that here is like I'm just ignore it because I need a function of it. So okay. So I still not. I guess I'm not so sure if I can ask the help for Johnson, the creator of Volar, to help me. Maybe that would be interesting. Right. So fs read file. It's just reading this file and read file. Read directory. Okay. So I'm a wonder that's what's the read directory from. What the returns of it? I know the way I'm working is pretty it's pretty much inefficient. I know. I'm just trying to seek from the surface to see what is internal. And so we have the read directory. Okay. We have the read directory. Wait. Is that okay? Is that because the read directory actually returns the absolute path? Would that be possible? So file and files, right? It's a lies. Oh, no, it's a relative. Yeah, it is relative, and that's fine. So one thing, let me check again to see if that's the difference. So again, I'm just hijacking again. Read directory. Okay, just do it. Okay, so I don't even need these things, and I just convert it back. Okay. Oh, forgot. All right. It seems, yeah, it works. And what's the read file? I think I can filter it, right? No, it doesn't have the read directory. Really? It doesn't read the directory at all. Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. But you see, that's really confused me. Is that it's immediately seek for view at view, but we don't have it. I mean, there's no difference for us to see. I don't think we have any. This is trying to resolve a view, and Okay. Should I try this? So we basically have URL in the file. So maybe the file that we serve is different. Okay, so we don't need to wait for the install because it's on CDN. Okay, that's a lot. And so the first file is TypeScript, makes sense. And the second file is Vue already. The second file is Vue. Okay. Yeah, that's so inefficient. So read file equal to this, right? And so read file, and we'll return file. All right. So we change to our implementation, and okay. After install finish, I go to app.vue. All right. So the first file is TypeScript, yes, and okay. So you see, that's really weird, and I don't understand why. So here is ES3, something like that, and it doesn't really need that. And 2 is directory, yes. And we also have size, we also have C time, and yeah, what's the difference? So here, so you have the URL resolver. The package name is coming in from the URL, and then you have the file name to URL, converting it back. I mean, the whole repo probably don't have much about Vue. So if we filter down without the markdown file and view item, duplicate view, this is all common. Yeah, there's nothing hard-coded about Vue. And we don't have anything about Vue either. So unfetch CDN. This is normal. Yeah, I think this is normal. If it's a directory, we return 2. That's correct. Should I check if it's a file? I mean, that doesn't add too much thing. And read directory in the JS delivery, it doesn't even run this read directory file. And there's no difference. Ooh. So that's me search for this again. So file system, right? And on this read file, let result, fetch result. Okay. If text is not undefined. I mean, I'm not so sure if that would make difference. So basically here where is it? Here, read file. Yeah, here we just create a model. So so we can say if the content is not undefined, it's not null, and we create a model. But I don't think that will be the main issue of that. All right, I went in. So still all TypeScript, and we failed to get these things, and it's not a function. I don't know. I don't really sure about why, but so I think here let's do a thing. So use. So we do a we don't need to comment this again and again, I guess. So if use just deliver here and else. So so I think we can call it a day, and I will check that's how I can fix this offline. So otherwise I think we'll keep going for like a few hours, and I certainly don't want to do it. I don't want you to kind of struggle with me for too long. I mean it's still quite a long time already. And for the RPC, I think we can just change to types, and then we don't need these things. Yes. And for types, we don't need it. Here, types. Okay, we don't need this. And but here, I think we. Oh, is that this file is not being referenced at all? Oh yeah, this here. We need the file types. And I'm not so sure if this. I mean, we got the files. That's the case. Get sync ID. Get sync URLs. So this is from the files. That means the file that we serve, and then the rest of the file should be crawling from the file system. I still not sure yet, but we'll see. We'll see. So here, the RPC is not needed because we do it in another way. So Monaco will handle it for us, so we don't need to do the RPC ourselves. So this is fine. Just revert it back. Okay. So here, if I go to here, I can refer these things as well. So reload language, I think is good. And where's the code I commented out? Here, yeah. All right. So still, yeah. Open this file, and then it says it cannot read the TypeScript. And then I redo it again, restart the language server. Okay. So that's exactly the same error. No such file. So I will commit it, and I will see how I can fix it. I guess this is a pretty hard topic. All right, so working in progress. By file system from WebContainer to Volar. All right, and so it's still not working, but we'll see. So thank you for coming today, and yeah, but I hope that's not too boring on the other way. And so for me, it's like the way I work is to I was always seek for what for the accomplishment. So it's like I get more energy that when I kind of work out something. So I got the energy of like getting reward by the hard work you do. So so for me, I personally I would feel frustrated in terms of this situation. So I'm really enjoying that if I work on something and then we kind of get a result. And yeah, so for this but yeah, I think that happens. Like there's a lot of time you cannot figure it out. I think this happens a few times in this streaming, and so yeah, we will see. But I believe I really believe that eventually we're going to figure it out. All the worst cases, I will just ask for help from Johnson or from somewhere from who that would like more knowing this better. I would rely on the open source community of maybe you already know what is happening and you can send me a PR. And I would also appreciate that. And yeah, and I will try to figure it out offline, and hopefully for the next time I will get a working solution. I will just explain to you what is happening. And yeah, just for the record, so for the next Tuesday I'm not going to streaming. So I'll skip for next Tuesday. So for the next streaming would be next Thursday. So it's the 7 days after. Is that you count 7 day or 6 day? So anyway, so it's like the same time and same Thursday the next week. So there's no streaming for Tuesday. And for the week after, because the Christmas and I also have some day off, so I already put all the streaming time to YouTube. So I think I made for the next month, and it's not much because I can skip a lot. So we are not going to progress this very fast. But I hope this like during that time, if I can get these things working, and maybe for the next streaming, I will just, or maybe for the next streaming, and I will just I can spend a whole episode to explain what is happening, and maybe that will be more productive. So I can constrain that's like 10 hours of work into 1 hour of explanation, and that might also do. And I think the thing we are working on, and maybe there's a it's a bit tricky because maybe there's no much people doing that, and also like I'm not so sure. Like I believe that Johnson might have better idea and Johnson might know better, but maybe like except for him, who created those things, or except for the VS Code team that who work on these things, or it's like we are just combining a lot of things together. It's VS Code itself, and it's the Monaco, and then we have TypeScript, and we have WebContainer to communicate with that, and we have Volar, which is doing something on top of the TypeScript language server, and that makes things a lot harder because probably there's no one did that before. Or I'm not so sure how Svelte did that, but I think as far as I know, like Svelte does not have very good IDE support in the learn.svelte, or I'm not so sure. So we can check. So let's go advanced. Do they have TypeScript? They don't mention TypeScript. So I'm wondering if they have any types. Data? Okay. It seems they don't have types here. Let's check. I think they should be a Monaco. Okay, this is code mirror. So this is CM editor. So this is the code mirror. They don't have any types. So so I wouldn't feel too bad because they didn't work on it. So okay, this is not this is my grammar. So they don't have any types, even though they import type config here, but they don't have any type inference. So I think they mostly focusing on the content. So I think we are trying something different that they don't try, because I guess that's getting Monaco or TypeScript working with stack base can be a little bit challenging. And so I will also check if there is more resource. I mean that's without Volar, maybe there's someone that's getting Monaco work with the stack base for pure TypeScript. I think that might be valid, and that might be possible. Like there might be already solutions, but maybe the Volar can be the first time people integrating it to doing as this thing. So we will see. All right. So I think that's it for today. And let me know if you have any question. And yeah. Yeah, at least maybe later on if we work out something, we could make a library for it, or we could write an article about how you can do it or improve the documentation for Volar. I guess that Volar doesn't have any documentation at this moment. I mean, there's a lot of work for them to work on these things. So so on the homepage, it does not have any documentation. Okay, volar.js.dev. Okay, you have it. And embedded language. Okay, it's more like an introduction, right? Okay, I think it's mostly for people that's writing a custom language on top of Volar, but it's not for us, the consumer. Okay, but I mean, this is a very brief guide, so I think you need to basically going deep into the repository, the code. But I think it's pretty good because it's TypeScript, so you should be able to find a lot of information from the types. Yeah, you see that I'm just going into the types a lot. So we will see if we can work out this. So here also, like here we have a to do, link the ts config from .nuxt. Right. All right. Do you have any more questions? We will call it a day. Okay, I think it's 4:15. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it's great. I think it's great either way. If you don't have if you don't have any question, and that means it's good. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And you got the answer, and that will also be good. And yeah. All right. Thanks for struggling with me, and I will see you on next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday. And yeah, I hope you enjoying the. Yeah, it might be. I mean that's probably for the next Thursday. It might not be. It might not work for many of you. So no worry if you enjoy your vacation, if you enjoy your holiday, please do. And and also like the recording is always here available. So no worry, just if you cannot make it, and you can check later on. And hope you have a good holiday. And yeah, okay, I'll see you. Bye bye.